Hello, good evening. How are you? Okay, I hope you can see me. I think there is no light here. I have some people working at home, and so I am not in my office. I am in a different room, and there is little light. So well, hope you can see me. So this is Ayatefel in Argentina, and why? Because I'm going to be sharing with you my presentation, what I presented in Ayatefel 2025. So let me share my presentation, my slides, and I hope you can see them. Okay, this looks crazy. Let's see. Okay. So I talked about, sorry about that. I talked about how to become a successful teacherpreneur with self-marketing, right? I'm going to move this a little bit up. I don't know why it's here. Okay. Okay. Very strange. So welcome. I am Gaby Torchiani, ESL specialist and international consultant. I am founder and director of TCLS, and I am tutor for Bridges Courses USA, TEFL courses. So let me share with you my story, my background. I am an EFL expert. I am a teacher, a translator, and TEFL certified instructor and coach based in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And I have a master's in applied linguistics. I have been teaching for 28 years already. I have devoted 28 years to education in a way. And I have worked with all different students with different ages and different levels. I did some in company training. I worked in different schools, in kinder, in primary, in secondary. I started off as a teacher, then became a coordinator, then a trainer, then a head tutor, and now I am a consultant with my own business, TCLS, Torrigiani Corporate Language Services. In 2005, I started doing some freelance work and I kind of went independent. I started with my own business. And that moment, I became an online TEFL course tutor for Bridge. It was like a side job at that time. So, what I will cover today, I'm going to be talking about entrepreneurship. I'm going to tell you why you should become one. I'm going to offer some tips on how to get started. We're going to try to identify our added value, our strengths. We're going to be talking about marketing, branding, the importance of social media. I'm going to share with you my favorite channel, which is Instagram. Then we are going to devote some time to attitude, which I think is very important. Then we're going to be discussing pros and cons of going independent, and then I'm going to offer some key tips. Okay. So, what is a teacherpreneur? And now try to take 1 or 2 minutes to think about the concept, the word. What is a teacherpreneur? Are you a teacherpreneur? Have you heard of the word? Do you know someone who is a teacherpreneur? Is a teacherpreneur the same thing as a freelancer? Are they the same thing? Um, Write down whatever comes to your mind, brainstorm the concept. It is quite new, but maybe you have heard about the word already. And maybe the word itself gives you an idea of the meaning, right? So, a teacher is an educator who combines skills, experience, knowledge, creativity, and passion to develop new services within the industry, to bring something new to the industry. The teacher is much more than a classroom teacher. He or she is also someone who works in marketing, management, customer service. We do different things. A teacherpreneur has a style, is innovative, and this is key. This is like the most important element. A teacherpreneur is creative, a leader, reflects on his or her teaching, is persistent, networks, shares, makes a difference, is in constant research, combines different skills to develop something new, as I said before, is a teacher and an entrepreneur who challenges his herself. So why become a teacherpreneur? Well, first of all, to grow your teacher brand, then earn extra money, and then to become a better teacher. So as for growing your teacher brand, you can expand your reach beyond your classroom, influence more students, teachers, and other educators and professionals. Network and connect with some other people and challenge yourself. As for earning extra money, you can earn more money when you write articles, when you speak at a conference, when you become a content creator, you can become a consultant. You can offer different linguistic services. That is up to you. Um, and then why am I saying that this is going to help you become a better teacher? Why? Because you will be acquiring new skills. You will be learning something new. You will reignite your passion for teaching and you will keep your creativity going. I don't know if this happened to you, but sometimes, well, it happened to me when I was younger. Being in the same school, in the same classroom, with the same age, same level, I got bored. So, what I did to stay motivated, I don't know if to say I moved on. I tried different things. So I was a primary teacher. First of all, I was a kinder teacher, then a primary teacher, then a high school teacher. Then, I worked at college. Then I became a teacher trainer. So I found that way to, keep growing and keep doing different things and new things. So how to get started, and I'm going to share with you how I got started, right? The first thing you should do is reflect on your experience, on your strengths, on your style. Ask yourself, what am I good at, right? You can be good at creating plans, at creating programs, at coaching teachers, at blogging, marketing, at public speaking, at writing articles. You can be good at working with, young learners, with teachers. So outline a plan. That is step two, right? Write everything down. What are my goals? What is your mission? What will I offer? Um, what steps will I take to get somewhere else? And write everything down and create a schedule and stick to it, right? You need some time to work on your project and have discipline, right? Um, Here are tips. Set aside specific time each week to work on your teacher brand and grow as a teacherpreneur. Okay. You can also you can still work, um, or you can have a side job because, we need to pay the bills, but you also need some time to work on your project. Okay. Identify your added value. Again, what can I offer? How will I make a difference? What am I good at? What sets you apart as an entrepreneur? What unique experience or perspective do you have to share? You need to think about that. We are all different and we all have something to offer. And this is something I am sharing here, something about my experience. But I made my own list and I'm going to share the list with you. Okay. I am a very dynamic educator. I like to mix things up when I'm teaching to keep my students motivated. I am very dynamic, as I said before, and I think you can notice that. I believe learning should be fun. So I like to engage my students in different ways. I am comfortable and experienced with working with students of all ages and language levels. I offer full immersion classes. I speak only English, but that's, the approach that I select. You can choose any other approach. Task-based, communicative language teaching. You can work more with grammar. That's up to you, right? You have so many, and this is the one that I use it to market myself, but I'm sure that you have your own style and your own approach, right? I am bilingual. I speak Spanish and English. And I think I can help my students become more fluent. I love working with pronunciation, and I think I'm good at it. And so I market myself. Marketing and why it matters. I think self-marketing is the best tool we have for finding new opportunities and making profit as a teacherpreneur. Through self-marketing, you can position yourself as a thought leader in the industry. You can make new connections, and you will stay updated. And here I put it again, set aside a small budget each month for marketing materials and ads. You don't need, I did this before, but I did not, to be honest, I did not spend that much money on marketing, right? But you know that on Instagram you can post different things and reach more people if you pay. I did that before. I'm not doing it anymore, but you could do that. Okay. But remember, and when I say marketing, I know you might be thinking, well, I'm not a, I, I don't work in marketing. I'm a teacher, but I'm not saying um, that you need to work as a content creator. You just need to show who you are and what you do. So marketing materials, create your website for your Teacherpreneur brand, build your own or hire a professional. This is my webpage. I designed everything. I created my own website, but I hired a designer because I didn't know, I'm not a tech person. So I knew everything I wanted to like share, but I didn't know how to do it. I know nowadays you have different apps to, create your own website, but if not, you can always hire someone. You can also design flyers to pass out in your local community, create and share social media posts to use on your channels, and send out a newsletter. I'm sure now we can work more with digital tools, but well, this is up to you. Videos are a very popular way to share information and introduce yourself to your audience. I share lots of videos. A pro tip here, keep your style consistent across your marketing materials. Use consistent colors and fonts, and be sure to brand with your logo. This is my logo, my name, TCLS, and I normally use blue every time I post something or every time I write an article. I use a lot of blue. So, and if you follow me already, you will notice that. Well, here is an article I wrote some years ago, an article I wrote on classroom management for a Brazilian magazine, New Roots, and everything is in blue. And I tend to, post it and repost it and reshare it. Well, when people see my name or the color or the font, then they remember, oh, yeah, Gabby, that's, TCLS. Or at least I hope they remember. So branding yourself as a teacherpreneur, create a name for your teacherpreneur brand, design a logo or color, update your profile, and give a clear message. You can also, select a niche, list the services you will provide, and any other different thing you may offer. Show what to do through photos and videos. And trust the power of self-marketing and social media. I'm not a tech person, I'm not tech savvy, but I opened every single account. I'm not using everything at the moment, but I do have Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Well, not Twitter now, X, but and now I don't use it anymore. I use more Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is great, for networking. How I use Instagram. This is my favorite channel. And this is something I posted ages ago, and I used Canva, fantastic tool to design this. I think the post was already there. I just changed the information. But well, anyway, create a consistent posting schedule. Post at least once per week. Daily is best. I was used to doing that. Now, I have a baby, so I don't do it anymore. This is up to you. You can also, but try to be, visible, stay visible. Try to post, okay? And here there are some ideas. You can post a tip of the day, demos, inspirational quotes, upcoming events, authentic photos of you teaching. As for events, for example, when I was presenting at the IATEFL conference, I posted everything related to the IATEFL conference. And so you can also follow different industries and associations and then repost whatever they post, right? But try to stay visible. And if not, you can also hire someone, a community manager to do that for you. And you don't need to like create content every day. Just maybe you can record whatever you do during the week and then post it. Networking and why it matters. Well, networking is good to become known in the industry, right? To have a voice, to meet future mentors, collaborators, clients, colleagues, friends. Your network can help you identify new opportunities. Um, it is great for idea generation. You can get inspired by keeping an eye on what others in the space are up to. And whenever you don't know what to, read about, what to post. If you follow, if you follow the industry or certain institutes or associations, you will get inspired. Be an active follower. Follow industry gurus, influencers, and relevant companies to see what type of content they are posting. For example, I follow Bridge, the company I kind of work for, and the British Council, and then I follow also TESOL Spain and IATEFL. Respond to posts by industry influencers and gurus, react and ask questions, share praise, and make your voice heard. And sometimes if you like something, then they will like back. So do that. Find a mentor. It could be an ex-teacher of yours, someone who you admire, someone with a similar career, but that person will help you, get started and they will give you some ideas. Attend coffee meetings and other networking events. ISFL, for example, is fantastic for networking, to get inspired, to stay motivated, to learn. And here, well, you can attend certain events virtually or in person. Introduce yourself and try to make a connection. And here, a pro tip, and this is very important: networking takes time. It is not a passive activity. Be proactive. For example, at the moment, I am interviewing heads from different schools because I'm not working. I was a head at a school some time ago, and I was also a coordinator, but I'm not working at a school at the moment, but I like to stay updated. So what am I doing? I interview different heads from different schools around the world. Attitude is everything. I think this one is the most important. Be prepared to face challenges. Believe in yourself, believe in your project. If you don't believe in yourself, who is going to believe in you? Have a clear vision and clear goals. Maybe find your niche. Be patient. It might take time to set up your own business. Stay calm and meditate if possible. Meditation works for me, but you will need to find a practice or something to, stay well. Have discipline, set deadlines for yourself, be prepared to fail and learn from those mistakes. Stay positive, dream big, you can make a difference. Here's some positive reminders. I try to, say them aloud every day. You become unstoppable the moment you start believing in yourself, and read them aloud with me if you want. The sky is the limit. Don't call it a dream, call it a plan. Okay. So pros and cons about going independent. I think that the hardest, this is, for me, this is something I think that maybe you find um, maybe you find a different advantage or disadvantage. So the hardest thing about becoming independent would be being patient, staying calm and motivated and not giving up. I think that's the hardest part, perseverance, right? But you have lots of advantages. You will be your own boss. You will set your own goals. You will pick your own approach. You will decide on things such as marketing materials, products, services, and agenda. You will be able to innovate. You can get as creative as you want. You can work from anywhere. I love traveling, and so this is very good for me. You will be in constant growth since you will need to stay, updated. You will meet people, you will improve and practice your self-awareness. You will be more responsible because you don't have a boss there telling you this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do. You will need to reflect on everything, and make decisions. You will make a difference because we're all different and we all have something to offer. And you will have and see different opportunities. And flexibility is like, wow, the best, the advantage, right? So, to put it in a nutshell, define your style, your niche, challenge yourself, Trust the power of self-marketing and social media. Stay updated and connected through networking. Attitude is everything. Make a difference. The moment to become a successful teacherpreneur is now. What are you waiting for? And so now we are connected. Here is my webpage. This is a collage with like, my business card, newsletters, flyers, web pages, posts from YouTube, well, different thing. Try to follow me on social media. And here there is an article um, I wrote for Diesel Spain, I believe, how to get started as a teacherpreneur, a practical guide. And I think I'm going to be like writing an article for IATEFL, LAMSIG as well. So then I'm going to share it with you if I can. So thank you for being there. It has been a pleasure. I hope you liked it. Um, I hope this is of help. We're all here to learn from each other, to share ideas. I just shared what I learned, my experience, my story, who I am, and just go for it. Okay. So I will stop sharing. I forgot that. So thank you. Thank you again for everything. Bye. Oh, if you have any questions, you can contact me. Bye bye.